Hello and welcome to lesson 9 of HTML, and this is going to go into some more advanced functions within tables. Now what I want you to do at this point is I'm going to get you to copy this whole table because I want you to have a totally new table, but I'm going to get you some paragraph tags in here so we skip a line. So put a paragraph tag there and put a closing paragraph tag here, and we're just going to copy this whole table. So let me go to the top here, grab this whole table and right down to there. Command C will copy, and then in between here, Command V, and I've just pasted the whole table. I'm just going to back up here so that the P's are directly around it. And I'm just going to take out these background colors because they'll end up being quite distracting. So I'll take out the background there and any of these BG colors in this second table. Okay, so now that I've taken out these colors, I should have a very plain table. So I'm just going to save this. And if I go back to this page, I should have two tables now, and one's very plain. Okay, now what I want to do with this table is exactly what I want to show you in Word here. In Word, we can do this. I can actually highlight across here, right-click, and then I can merge these cells together. And so think about how we describe tables at the very beginning. I talked to you about how you have rows and data cells. So the way we would describe this table now is, in the first row, we have one data cell. In the second row, we have 3 data cells. So it's still a row, but we have a single data cell in this row. So if you think about that, that's not that difficult. So let's just minimize this, and let's do that in the actual HTML. So if you think about that, that said that, okay, well, in the first row, we only have one data cell. So let's just remove 2 data cells. So that's what I'm going to do. I remove 2 data cells, and now I've only got one data cell. So let's take a look at that. I reload. I've got one data cell, but the only problem is it's conforming to the size of the next row. That single data cell is there, but now I've got a bunch of blank space here. What we really want to do is we want to make this one single cell equal to the 3 cells here. Okay, and the way we do that is this is when we start talking about columns in HTML. So what we really want to do is if we call these columns, we want this particular cell to span the 3 columns as opposed to just one. Okay, so if we go back to here, we actually add in an attribute into this cell where the 1 is and put in a space, and we put in call for column span equals, and then we can specify how many columns we want it to equal. So instead of just the 1, we want it to be equal to 3. So if we save that, and then we reload, we get that one cell equal to 3. Now, okay, so that's pretty simple. So let's try something else. If we go back to our Word document, say I want to do this. Instead of doing that, I am going to merge these cells. Now, how do we describe this? This is a little bit more complicated. So if we look at this one carefully, we have the first row, and it has one data cell. And as I said, we did a call span of 3. Okay, now here, we go to the second one, and we still include this one in the second row, so we still have 3 TDs. Okay, so we still have 3 data cells, except the first data cell bleeds into the third row. So instead of a call span, this ends up being a row span. A row span of what though? A row span of 2. So it covers the 2. And then when we go to the third row, well, now that this has been sort of blocked out by this cell that's a row span, we end up only with 2 TDs, or 2 data cells. So we've got 1 data cell in the first row, 3 in the second row, but the first one takes up 2 data cells going down in a row span. And then the third row, since this one's been knocked off, we only have 2 data cells left. Okay, I know that might be a little bit confusing, but I think you'll get used to it. So let's do that. Okay, so if you recall, in this one, we're going to make number 4 collide with number 7. So let's go in here. So number 4 is where we're going to put the row span. Row span equals, and if you recall, It's just going to cover the 2 rows. Now I'm going to show you the error that happens if you don't change anything in the 3rd row. Watch what happens. Okay, what it does is it says, okay, well, you've got 3 items, including this one. It makes 4 data cells across. Okay, so you have to get rid of one of these. Okay, so what we're going to do is we go back here, and I'm just going to get rid of the number 7. I click Save, and then I go back to here, and I reload, and now I've got exactly what I want. You've got a call span covering the entire 1st row, and then in the 2nd row, you've got a row span that covers the 1st cell of both the 2nd row and the 3rd row. If you understand conceptually how to do that, then you should be able to do all the table exercises that I'm going to be showing you shortly. Okay, good luck with that.